Welcome to Embrace Chaos and Choose Joy. I'm Jamie Ploog. I am the creator of Embracing Chaos and Loving Every Minute of It. I am a busy mom, a farm wife. I'm calving out cows and running kids to football and baseball and showing cattle. And I have a very dramatic preschooler in my life. And on top of it, I still find time to choose myself. And that was something that I had to work towards. A couple years ago, found myself full of anxiety, full of insecurity. I was living for my children and living, to make my husband happy, but never really living to make myself happy. My choices were always based on what was going to be the best for my husband, or what was going to make my kids the happiest. Never about what was going to make me happy. And so I really took the time to work through my insecurities and work on myself to figure out how to embrace the chaotic world of being a mom and a teacher and all of the stuff, just all the chaos, how to embrace it and really choose joy. The first thing I want to say before we get into the choices I have made, you're not alone. 10 years ago, I started having some major anxiety about being the perfect mom and the perfect wife, and for sure the perfect teacher. Like, my classroom had to be perfect, and the kids, had to be perfect, and everything had to look perfect and shiny on the outside. And my kids had to be dressed really, really well. What other people thought of me really was my value. And after a while, I just decided I didn't want that anymore. Once I figured out that that wasn't the way to live, I decided to make some really easy choices, but they had to be something that I practice and I do every day. They are not something I skip because I don't want to go back to that way of living before. The choices are really all about choosing gratitude and living your passions, choosing to be positive, and making sure you take time for yourself, and choosing peace in order to belong to you. The number one choice I made when I was making choices, and that was gratitude. Choosing gratitude is one of the easiest things we can do for ourselves, but it's also one of the things that we throw out the window when we get stressed or when we are worried about something. We automatically go to negative and we kind of fill the void with negativity. And if we would choose to fill it with gratitude, we would actually get a lot further in life. We would feel a lot better. Our moods would be better. We would be just overall happier people. We would even sleep better. We would be less abrasive when it came to talking to other people. We'd be open to relationships. So gratitude is just huge. And I practice every day by journaling. I just write down 5 to 10 things that I am thankful for. And every day I do that, and they're not the same. But that helps me when I feel like I'm on a sinking ship of negativity to kind of hop over into the positivity rowboat and kind of paddle up creek. If I can really start to look for what am I thankful for? Like, what am I grateful that I have? What do I have? What can I celebrate? What kind of things have I done? Instead of trying to compare or to fill a void with negativity. And so just being grateful and living in gratitude is really important on choosing joy. The second choice is living your passions. Passions are the things in your life that make you the happiest, the things that make you feel the most connected to who you are. Of course, when I was asked that, my passion was being a good mom and being a teacher. And yes, those are things that I am passionate about. I really like farming, and I really liked helping others in our community. And my friends are really important to me. Those are some of my passions. And so I learned how to kind of harness what my passions were, and then that kind of helped me spread into when I needed some self-care or when I needed to raise, my mood or my vibration, I would kind of focus on those passions. And that helped me to feel more at ease, more peaceful, and really made me feel like I was doing something worthwhile with my time. So living out your passions is one step to choosing joy. The next thing you can do for yourself is to choose positivity. I know we've talked about gratitude and choosing and practicing gratitude and living in gratitude, but really just changing your lens, changing the way that you see things. What you focus on grows. And so if you focus on the negative, everything around you is going to seem negative. And if you focus on the positive, everything around you is going to seem positive. I've told this story and my husband still smiles about it and he still does it. But I was 9 months pregnant, very pregnant, with our second child. And he was a 9-pound, 13-ounce baby. So I was big. And my husband always takes his jeans off in the laundry room, mud room, and sets them like next to the laundry basket. And I always was really mad at him because it took a lot for me to bend over and put them in the laundry basket. And one day I read this article and it talked about how someday he's not going to be there. And someday his jeans aren't going to be there. And someday, someday he's not going to be there to annoy me. And it made me really think about like those jeans are a sign that he is still around. He's still in my life and he still can make me smile and bring so much joy to me. So really changing that lens of just like, what's the positive side of it and really taking time to flip. Yes, your kids may make a mess in your house and things may be crazy, but they're not always going to be there to make a mess in your house and to be crazy. And so it's kind of one of those like, let them be little, let them, love the memories you make. Just choose that positivity. The fourth thing you can choose is yourself. Just taking time for yourself to de-stress. And really it's that what you focus on grows again. It's like focusing on taking time for yourself, realigning yourself, recharging your batteries, all of the things that you need to be the best you. I meditate and journal every day for it's like 15 to 30 minutes, depending on who gets up, how fast my workout's done. And so every day I have that little chunk of time for me, and then I take another chunk of time in the afternoon. But every Saturday, I take like 60 minutes that are mine. And whether it's read a book or meditate or journal or whatever it is that I want to do to help recharge my batteries, I do it. If I can have longer, if I can go somewhere, I obviously do. But when I can't, I just take like 60 minutes on the weekend and just a little bit of time. That time helps you to kind of remove yourself from some negativity, gain some perspective, go back to what are you grateful for, look for the positive, just really recharge your batteries. So taking time for yourself is so important to being happy and choosing joy. Really, the last thing are kind of two things put together, and it's choosing peace so you can belong to yourself. And I read a Brene Brown book that said being ourselves means sometimes having to find the courage to stand alone. And it talked about how standing alone was the hardest thing you could do, but not shrinking and not fitting into what others want you to be and what you think others expect you to be. Some people are always looking for outside validation, and that was me. That was my entire being. I wanted to be the perfect mom in someone else's eyes. I wanted to be the perfect teacher in someone else's eyes. And so taking a step back and really thinking about what it meant to belong to myself and really think about who I was has helped me to belong to me and lessen my insecurities. We all have limiting beliefs. Those are the beliefs That's as successful as we'll ever be. That's as much weight as we'll ever lose. That's as happy as we'll ever be. And so we float up to that belief and then we push back down. And so breaking those barriers and belonging to ourselves is how we really achieve inner peace. And so something that I would like to share with you is kind of a little bit of who I am. And so when I belong to me, I feel peace in my heart. I am content and comfortable. I am a light for others in a dark place. And so as you continue, who are you? What do you really want to be? And I keep that with me when I'm starting to feel insecure or when I don't believe in myself, and I reread it and I reread it. It helps me to feel less anxious, and I don't look to others for validation. So really, I encourage you to take some time to sit down and think about who are you and what does it mean when you belong to you. I hope I've taught you how to choose joy and just learning to embrace the chaos and loving every minute. Really, our lives are so chaotic, whether we're taking care of others or taking care of ourselves, or we're just running places here or there because our kids have sports or our spouses have other things. Learning to look at things through a different lens and choosing gratitude and living our passions and really figuring out who we are and belonging to ourselves is so important. If you are interested in more help in this, I have a 8-week course that we kind of look at each piece of this and a few more and dig in a little bit deeper. I also have a Facebook group called Embracing Chaos and Loving Every Minute that you are more than welcome to join and kind of become part of our community of cheerleaders and supportive women who just want to take care of each other. I hope that you enjoyed my presentation, and I hope that you can learn to embrace chaos and choose joy.